Let's be honest. We have all done it. We've all sat on the couch on a Monday night, staring at the TV screen, watching Antiques Roadshow. We watch as people lug their dusty attic finds, strange ceramic cats, and yellowing baseball cards to the convention center, all sharing the same secret hope. Is this it? Is this the retirement fund? Or is it just a reproduction worth $50? Usually it's the latter. But every once in a while the stars align. The music swells, the appraiser leans in, and magic happens. In a recent episode that has the internet completely buzzing, we witnessed one of those rare, spine-tingling moments. It wasn't just about the money, though, trust us, the money was huge. It was about the story, the humble reaction, and the terrifying realization that this life-changing object almost didn't make it out of the house. Here is the incredible story of the Pennsylvania woman who had her breath literally taken away by a painting she almost left hanging on her wall. The "oh, why not" moment. The story begins like so many good ones do, with a whim. A middle-aged woman, unassuming and kind, arrived at the Antiques Roadshow event. She brought a few items, as most guests do. But tucked away with her belongings was a 1925 oil painting. It wasn't something she had bought at a high-end gallery. It wasn't something she had hunted down at an estate sale. It was simply a part of her home, a family heirloom that had been passed down from her grandparents. When talking to the appraiser, she dropped a bombshell that would make any collector sweat. "I didn't even think about bringing this," she confessed later in the segment. "This was a last-minute, oh well, why don't we take this one too?" Pause for a second. Let that sink in. How many of us have things sitting in our basements right now that we think are just okay? How many treasures have been thrown out during a spring cleaning because we didn't think they were worth the car ride to get appraised? She almost left it at home. And as we were about to find out, that would have been a six-figure mistake, a gift of gratitude, the surgeon and the artist. What makes this appraisal so touching isn't just the canvas and the paint, it's the humanity behind it. The guest explained the provenance, the history of ownership of the piece. It turns out her grandfather wasn't an art collector in the traditional sense. He was a surgeon in Philadelphia. Back in the 1920s, one of his patients happened to be a woman named Fern Coppage. If you aren't an art history buff, that name might not ring a bell. But in the world of American Impressionism, Fern Coppage is a titan. She is widely considered the best female artist of the prestigious group known as the Pennsylvania Impressionists. She was a trailblazer known for braving freezing temperatures in a bearskin coat just to capture the perfect winter light on a snowy landscape. According to the guest, this painting wasn't a transaction. It was a thank you note. "I believe that this painting was something that Fern gave my grandfather in gratitude for the surgery that he performed on her," the guest shared. Imagine that. A life saved and a masterpiece given in return. For generations, this painting served as a reminder of her grandfather's skill and kindness. But the family had no idea that the thank you gift was currently one of the most sought-after styles in the American art market. The appraisal, an absolute gem. The appraiser on duty could barely contain his enthusiasm. As he studied the piece, he began to educate the guest, and us viewers at home, on exactly what we were looking at. The painting depicts a location called Goat Hill, a spot in New Hope, Pennsylvania, not far from where the guest currently lives. But it wasn't just the location, it was the vibe. The appraiser pointed out that this was a winter landscape. In the current art market, Coppage's winter scenes are the gold standard. They are vibrant, cozy, and deeply evocative of the American Northeast. He also noted something technical that added to the intrigue: the dimensions. The painting was square. While that might seem trivial to us in the art world, unusual dimensions can make a piece rarer and more desirable. "I think this is an absolute gem," he remarked, his eyes scanning the brushstrokes. At this point in the show, the tension usually spikes. You can see the guest trying to keep a poker face. Is a gem worth $5,000? Is it $10,000? The guest seemed to have no expectations. She was just happy to learn more about her grandfather's patient. Then he dropped the number. The gasp heard around the world. The appraiser finished his examination and prepared to deliver the verdict. "At auction," he began, keeping his voice steady, "I'd feel very comfortable with an estimate of $120,000 to $180,000. The reaction was instantaneous. It wasn't a scream. It wasn't a jump for joy. It was a visceral, physical shock. The guest immediately clutched her chest, her hand flying to her heart as if to keep it from leaping out of her body. The air audibly left the room. "How much?" she whispered/gasped, needing to hear it again to ensure she hadn't hallucinated. But the appraiser wasn't done. He saw her shock and decided to double down. He explained that the market is hot. He wasn't just being polite. "I could actually easily see it making over $200,000, he added. $200,000 for a painting that was a last-minute addition to the car trunk. The guest's reaction shifted from shock to pure, overwhelmed emotion. "Oh my goodness," she managed to say, still holding her chest. "You're taking my breath away." It was the most relatable moment in television history. The appraiser, seeing her wobble a bit, jokingly stated the obvious, "You seem surprised." "I'm stunned. I'm totally stunned," she replied, shaking her head in disbelief. Why we cried with her. Before the segment ended, the appraiser told her with a smile that she chose well by deciding to bring the painting. That understatement of the century is why fans flocked to social media to share in the joy. In an era of reality TV that is often scripted, dramatic, or mean-spirited, Antiques Roadshow remains a bastion of pure, unadulterated, wholesome content. When this woman gasped, we gasped. When she realized this family heirloom could pay off a mortgage or fund a retirement, we felt that relief for her. Instagram users flooded the show's comment section, proving that we all love a happy ending. "I love her reaction and am happy for her," wrote one user. "She had such a darling reaction," said another. A third viewer nailed exactly why this clip went viral. "So refreshing to see this reaction. Most are like, well, isn't that nice lol." It's true. Sometimes guests play it cool. They nod stoically. But not this lady. She gave us the raw, unfiltered emotion of someone who just realized their life had changed. The takeaway: check your walls. So what is the lesson here? Aside from the fact that we should all be checking our attics for Pennsylvania Impressionist paintings, the real lesson is about the stories we hold on to. This painting was valuable because of the artist, yes, but for the guest it was valuable because it was a story about her grandfather. The monetary value was just the icing on a very, very expensive cake. Next time you visit your parents or grandparents, ask about the weird lamp in the corner. Ask about the painting that's been hanging in the hallway since 1970. Ask about the story. You might find a heartwarming family memory. Or just maybe, you might find a $200,000 breathtaking surprise. Antiques Roadshow airs Mondays on PBS at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it. You never know who is going to strike gold next.